Hey, everybody, welcome back to Real Estate Uncensored. We have an amazing show. Mr. Ramon is back with us. We're going to talk about how he went from paid ads to organic video, and he is just raking, and I mean raking in the leads, crushing it when it comes to lead generation. I mean, this man is like the bionic man of lead generation, and he's going to share all of his tips and tricks for you so that you can go out there and be the legend and follow in Ramon's footsteps. Before we get to our legendary guest, first, I have Mr. Nick Sackis, the ever shrinking man. How are you, brother?
Listen, I'm doing great. Ramon, blast from the past, and I'm excited to talk to him because we talk all the time on through Messenger and chat, and I've seen his evolution the past couple years of short form video. It's really inspiring to watch because I know his story because he was actually a client of mine running paid advertising years ago. So I know that he's kind of transitioned, which is the title, going from paid ads to organic video, which is what everybody wants to do. Not everybody is successful in doing so. So I'm happy to have him on the show, and he's going to probably convince me to move to North Carolina too, because all the videos that I watch of his make me want to move there more and more every day.
Hey. Especially the food ones. Those are, I sit there and I'm like, wait, what is he ordering again? Oh, dang, that looks good.
I've got to post one of those today.
Yeah. We are. So, Nick, do the intro for our esteemed guest, please.
Yeah, Mr. Ramon Lamelli, EXP Realty out of North Carolina, Winston-Salem, right, area?
That's right.
Tri-County, or the Triad is what they call it?
Triad. Mm-hmm.
So I want everybody to hear your story, how you kind of basically started on a team and then ventured out on your own, your transition from, the rat race of cold calling and paid advertising to really evolving with the market and knowing that video was the thing. Yeah. And then latching onto video and how you've built your team and just kind of your story over the past 5 years, get everybody kind of up to speed with what you're doing.
Okay, yeah. So I was been licensed for 11 September will be 12 years, which is hard to believe that time has gone by so fast. I started off on a team knowing nothing. I went to a small mom and pop shop, and there was really no training or education. It was just like they would print out the Zillow leads that would come in on a 3-ring binder, and they were super old, and I would try to call them and get nowhere. So I started kind of Googling and YouTubing how to lead generate, and eventually I stumbled upon my buddy Nick Sackis, who was doing Facebook leads back then, and kind of a trendsetter really, because there were some people doing Facebook leads, but he really had that system kind of honed in and really knew what he was doing. So I started being really successful doing those paid Facebook ads and just calling, back then, you kind of balance the time versus money thing, and the leads were cheap, but you had to call 100 of them to get one sale. But if you got the time, it kind of really does make sense to actually take the time to make the calls. And you're getting hung up on, you're getting cursed out, you're getting wrong numbers, you're getting numbers not connecting. And but I did it for many years, and I built a very successful business doing it. That kind of started changing after I left that small firm. I went to EXP Realty because I saw the technology and I really loved the model. And then as soon as right around the time the pandemic started, I started kind of getting really, really burnt out on essentially calling all these leads and being hung up. It's just heartbreaking, soul wrenching stuff, to just constant rejection. And honestly, for a long time I just let it slide. I would just hang up on the person that cussed me out, call the next person. And like I said, it worked for a long time, but eventually I just kind of had enough of it, and I just kept thinking there's got to be a better way. So I started experimenting with YouTube videos at first, and I didn't really take it too seriously, but I would see some success. But I remember I wasn't doing it right. And I remember people calling me and thanking me for telling them about Winston-Salem. They bought a house with someone else because of my video, because I wasn't using the right call to actions. I wasn't using the right things. And so I paid for a couple of training courses on YouTube, and then I really honed in on it. But I got kind of busy, and I kind of put that on the back burner. And it wasn't until November of this past year that I really just kind of doubled down on short form video, mainly using TikTok primarily, and then repurposing that content for Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook Reels, LinkedIn, and then YouTube, and sometimes Twitter, although Twitter only allows you to do short, very few second clips. And everything I have under contract right now is either a referral or directly from YouTube or TikTok. And that's kind of basically, in a nutshell, my last 5-6 years.
Love it. Absolutely love it. So the transition, so you started off doing regular YouTube videos, like you said, and that was the first realization that, hey, I need to kind of jump on this trend, right? And do this long form stuff. What people don't necessarily really realize is how much work it takes to do a really good YouTube video
Yeah.
and to really do long form content, right? So I'm not saying this as an excuse or why you should focus on short form only, because YouTube is a very long-term play for sure. And it's a place where everybody's going to find you. But the fact that you've doubled down on your short form, which is where the world is, right?
Yeah.
Where the eyeballs and attention are definitely on short form. So if you could only get good at one thing right now, and as far as you're an individual person, you don't have a team of editors, you're not paying for a team of editors.
Right.
When you do long form content, there's a lot of editing involved, versus short form is probably your fastest path to get started because you can use in-app editing. You can use the TikTok editor or the Facebook editor or whatever, right? And you can just get started. And that's the biggest thing. But what I want to pull away from this, if you're listening to this and you're going, oh, well, you just heard the last thing he said, which is the last 12 deals is referral and or from the short form videos that you've been doing. Don't negate the fact that Ramon does the hard work, right? He did the hard work on the paid lead generation side for years. And it was, if I remember right, you were one of the first guys I remember hearing back then when because I had all these clients, right, doing paid ads, and Ramon would crush it every month. And we'd talk and I'd be like, dude, what, and I would get follow-up scripts from Ramon to tell my other clients, like, here's what you should be doing. Right. But the whole thing was like, I make 50 calls a day. It was either 50 or 100.
Yeah. It started off as 100 and then I had to scale it down the busier I got.
Yeah. So it was like, I'm making 100 calls a day, every day without fail. Now that mentality's turned into, I'm doing 2 hours of video a day. I don't know, 3 hours of video. Like, you are just as bullish on a daily routine for video as you are with your calling. And so I think there's a lot of people that look right now at video as still like a luxury. They don't view it as a necessity and or something that I should just do when I feel like doing it. So how did that transition? Because it's one of the hardest things. I really think it's one of the hardest things to do, because you can make calls when you don't feel good. Right? You can make calls with a sour face and you're pissed off or whatever, but it's hard to get on video and be a bubbly person and or like make a really good video when you're feeling like shit, or when you just had a deal fall apart and now you're okay. Now here's my time block for my video hour. So, are there any tips that you can give people from the consistency side of things? Like, what's helped you get over that hump and or just come up with enough content ideas, right?
So a lot of that has to do, like, I do use TikTok social. I do love scrolling through videos and seeing what the heck TikTok shows me. But when I first started doing those TikTok videos, my process was, I knew I had to do it. I just didn't have a specific process for it. So what I would do essentially was scroll through TikTok, find one after 20 to 30 minutes of scrolling, and go set up my light, set up my microphone, copy that video or that trend, and then post it, and then try to do that again. And it was taking too long. So what I started doing was I essentially have a group chat with some of the members of my team that we're all really big into TikTok. So we just send each other all day TikToks. I don't even watch them until I'm ready to start creating TikToks. And those are mostly the trends, or like, say, an agent in Florida or California or New York or wherever, they do a really cool way of showing a house, or a really cool way of, presenting that they showed closed on a home or something.
Yeah.
We'll share those as well. So I try to have something specific to post about every single day of the week. So I'll usually, unless I'm really, really busy, I'm doing 2 to 3 videos a day. So Mondays, I usually do like a neighborhood tour, whether that's a new construction neighborhood or a already existing neighborhood, just highlighting. And a a lot of times what I'll do is on my way to the office, I'll just take my phone out and drive by with my phone out the window like
Yeah.
this and just
And do a voiceover.
yeah, and then do a voiceover. Hey, this is so and so neighborhood. The last 3 months, the average sales price is this. The price per square foot is this. There's this many homes available. And then on Tuesdays, I will usually do like an education for buyers. On Wednesdays, I post I call it Winston-Salem Eats Wednesday, which is a video about different local restaurants, mom and pop, usually owned, locally owned restaurants, and that has that. If I had to pick one thing that I had to stick with and do, that would be the one. Then Thursdays I usually do seller advice, seller tips, seller something, and then Fridays sometimes throughout the week I do congratulations to my newest home buyer, my newest home seller. They just closed on this house or that house. So once I got into a rhythm that works pretty well, and they all do decently, it was really easy. So I think what I would say to people is instead of just trying to scroll and find a video and then copy it, just write down one for Monday, one for Tuesday, one for Wednesday, and then supplement that with some of those little short 5 to 10 second funny audios and relate it
Yeah.
to your niche, your real estate niche.
So what I'm hearing is you created a framework, right? So in marketing, we would call that a framework, right? So it's not about, it's like one level up from the content ideas. So if we get stuck on all the different possibilities of all the different type or all the different videos that you could make, if you go one level above that, like Ramon did, he says, Monday, I'm doing this category. So if you start thinking your videos, your lead generation as, Monday's category is this. And then that way in my mind, I know that as you go throughout the week, and all of our minds are always thinking about business anyway, you think about different content ideas, right? And I always tell this to people too, when you're most of the time, even if you're not posting on TikTok or Facebook Reels or whatever, you enjoy watching them. There's very few people I've ever met that are like, I don't like TikTok videos or whatever. Like everybody is watching them. Whether you're producing them is another story. But if you can get into the habit of while you're watching videos like Ramon's doing with his team, if you're not sharing it with other people, at least save it for later.
Right.
So that way, as the week progresses, you've saved 10, 15 videos, and then Monday morning comes around, it's time to do some video creation. You know that what your category is now for Monday, and then you can go back in your log and see those 15 videos. It just makes the speed of all of this much, much faster.
Yeah, not having to worry about not planning what you're going to do that day, but already having in mind what you're going to do.
Yeah.
There's also ways like inside of TikTok to bookmark or save them, or I used to just text them to myself or send them to my email. But I like the community aspect of it too, because we're all talking like, what would I do? What caption did I use on this video, or what should I do on that video? So I think it's helpful to have a group of 2 or 3 friends or other agents rather that you can share back and forth TikTok ideas. One thing that I'll say that I had to actively stop myself from, that I feel like I could be wrong, but in my opinion, I think it's hurting agents more than helping agents, is 2 things really. One is when you're posting a TikTok and you're talking, your audience is like another agent. So like the frustrations of showing up to the house and the lockbox is nowhere to be found, things of that nature. I see a lot of that, and I'm like, if I want agents to follow me, I'll do content geared towards them. But if I want buyers, so it's a little bit harder to come up with ideas because my mind instantly goes to the woes of being a realtor, or the issues, the trials and tribulations that we go through. But I feel like you should stay away from that because no one can really understand.
100%.
You know what I mean?
I love that insight, because that couldn't be farther from like everybody's. When you ask realtors who their favorite TikTok person is, 9 times out of 10 it's another realtor.
Yeah.
You don't want that. You don't want to be the favorite, right? Unless you wanted to be a guru, and Ramon Ramelli's not selling TikTok courses yet. Maybe he will. It'll probably be a different profile, but his primary purpose. So that's a really good thought pattern or thought process of know who your audience is.
Yeah.
Right. You might have seen another agent do a video that's really funny to other realtors, but is that really going to bring you business?
Yeah.
Right? Is getting 100 likes from other realtors across the country going to pay your electric bill next month? Probably not.
Right. You might get a referral, but I'd rather stick with people locally here. And then the other thing that I see a lot that I had to tell some of even the members on my team to kind of quit doing is kind of complaining about their buyers or complaining about their sellers too, I feel like you don't really want to put that out there because
No,
who's going to
no.
want to work with you if they feel
Right.
like you're going to talk about them as soon as the deal closes or something.
Yeah.
So it's another thing that I've seen out there that I would advise against. But basically, just being consistent. I see a question from Adam House. Should I respond to it
If
or?
you
Yeah,
want
go
to, I
ahead.
was going to hop on it, but go ahead. Let me hear
Yeah,
you.
sorry, I
and then
didn't
I'll
mean to. I didn't know how
go
that
ahead.
works. But Adam, hope you're doing good, man. So yeah, I've heard that as well. That
Well, Ramon, let's read the question really quickly. So Adam, what he wrote is, says someone told me that if you have a YouTube channel and there are shorts and long videos, that would actually hurt your channel. This ain't true, right? So,
I've
Ramon.
heard the same exact thing, and I decided that I have a couple of different reasons why I personally do it on the same channel. I think there's people out there that do different channels for long form and short form. So essentially, what I've found is that there's a TikTok community and inside of like YouTube, right? So there's your YouTube shorts. There's people that go on there and just watch YouTube shorts. I'm getting leads from people that watch my YouTube shorts. They could care less about my long form videos, and then I'm getting leads from because of the different links that I use. I can tell where they're coming from, the shorts or the long form or TikTok or Instagram, and that's a whole nother deeper level that we can talk about. But essentially what I found is now I'm getting like people that casually scroll on YouTube shorts as if it were TikTok or as if it were Instagram reels or Facebook reels. I'm getting those people, and then I'm still getting it. It hasn't affected my views in any, that I can tell. So I like it. I think that you should do it. Also, YouTube wouldn't have put so much resources into, in my belief, I should say, into creating YouTube shorts and competing with TikTok if they weren't going to, they're never going to damage their main product, which is the long form videos, right? So they're going to find a way to consolidate them or unite them, whether it's separation on your YouTube channel between the long form and the short form. So in my opinion, I've heard that people say it could damage your YouTube, your YouTube videos, or your YouTube channel rather, but I don't see it. It hasn't affected me, and I'm getting I just treat it as another platform essentially. I have my long form and then I have my short form.
So here's the origin
And
behind that. Let break it down from the beginning, right? And this is I'll start off by saying this doesn't apply to realtors. So that what he said about short form and long form, I'm going to emphatically say that it doesn't apply to 99.9% of realtors, and here's why. The reason that argument came about is if you had an already established YouTube channel, if you had a banger, if you were Joe Rogan or Mr. Beast or a channel that had hundreds of thousands of subscribers, all an algorithm is the user behavior of people, right? So if you have a long form channel that all you do is 2-hour long podcasts, and then you start introducing this short form stuff onto an already established channel, that can cannibalize the people that already like you because they don't like short form. They came to your channel, they've been a viewer of your channel for long form content. So when it first happened, people were like, oh, you should treat YouTube shorts just like you treat a YouTube clip show channel. So if you look at all the biggest creators, their channel is their identity for one specific show. They've gotten really popular for one specific show. If they have an offshoot of that show, it's a whole nother channel because that's a whole nother audience and a whole nother algorithm to train on the right people to find that channel. Same thing for shorts and the same thing for YouTube clips. So that's the pyramid of like YouTube in general. No real estate agent is there. Like if you're going to start a YouTube show, Adam, if you have a channel now and you have 100 subscribers and you're worried about putting short form and long form, don't worry about it. Just do it. Have one channel for all your content right now because you're better off. You're not going to be consistent. Most people aren't going to be consistent enough to post on a YouTube channel every single day. You're way better off to just have all of your content in one place because that YouTube channel, the best thing for that YouTube channel is just your online resume. So people that find you that want to do business with you in your market, let them find that online resume in one place. Let them know you can do all those things. It's not going to affect you at all. He said 14 subs. He's big time. Yeah, you are big time, buddy.
That's real, very well put, and I couldn't agree more. Yeah, no, I agree completely.
Greg, you know today I can actually say that you're kind of scaring me because you've been really quiet today. Normally, you're the one yelling at us to talk.
He's in awe by everything.
I am in. I'm in celebrity. I'm in around celebrities today. So I'm actually taking notes on timestamps. I'm going to go back and re-listen to a lot of this stuff because I think, Ramon, what you've put together is very logical, very achievable. And I think a lot of people, like you and I were talking off air about this, and you're like, why are you afraid of doing X, Y, and Z? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just afraid. Can't explain it. And I think it's the lack of just any kind of clarity, because you see all these big names out there that are doing a lot of, big production, and you're like, well, I'm just not, I can't compete with them. I'm not even going to start. And it's weird that I have that mindset, because when I started this podcast, I didn't care who had what kind of podcast. I just want to go dipping my toe in the big pool and see if I'm going to make any kind of a ripple, if anyone's even going to listen.
See what happens.
And my mindset has shifted since then, and I don't know why. So maybe that's affecting a lot of other folks. So guys, back at minute 10 of this podcast, 10 minutes ago right now, go back and re-listen to Ramon break down kind of his calendar and kind of his mindset on how he does these different videos. And then don't worry about all the right technical equipment. Just get out there and just start shooting. Turn your phone sideways. These iPhones, these Androids, these Pixels, I mean, these things are powerful little devices.
This is the only thing I would recommend that you buy. It is, I think it was $20 or $30. It's a Saramonic microphone with the lightning adapter or lightning cable thing. Clip it here, put it on your phone. That way you have good audio. Because honestly, I have like nicer cameras that I thought I was going to need. I went really deep into it, and 99% of what I shoot is on this sucker.
Easy. It's got to be easier. You won't do it. Yeah,
exactly. I have a lavalier mic that I clip on as well. Take your good audio to great audio for, like, yours is like $20-$30, you said.
Yep.
I mean, there's a lot of very affordable mics out there. I agree with Ramon on that 100%. If you really want to get really, really fancy, if I can find it in a short amount of time, here it is. Hold on. I have a drawer of tech junk that I keep around. This is, yes, very manly color, pink little purse this thing comes in. But this is the little light that I put around my camera. So if I want to shoot with this thing, right, I'm going to shoot front forward, put this little ring thing on it.
Pink, because it's for beauty creators.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Greg's a beautiful soul.
This little light with a little mic attached to it. Now you got a light and a mic. And this thing, I haven't powered this thing in probably 4 years, and it still holds a charge. So
light and a mic.
Light and a mic, and you go out and talk. And, Ramona, a couple of things that I see you doing is you're doing some very interesting things in your area. I ran across another group out of Portland. It's called Portland Real Estate. And these guys don't talk about real estate, just like you don't talk about real estate. You talk about, like, different restaurants, what you and your wife went out and ordered, about the community and content. Like I think you mentioned earlier in the show, is that a lot of folks they think that they run out of content. Well, look at your local news. Why don't you become a local news aggregator for your local communities that are going to be affected by, hey guys, keep in mind that the storms are rolling in. This is what's going to happen. So you take everything that the mainstream media is doing, barf it back out with your opinion onto your channel, especially if there is a homicide, or if there's something like, God forbid, knock on wood, a kidnapping, or anything that's going to affect the community, right? Good or bad, and then bring it to them. Interview local businesses. Go to your Chamber of Commerce, get a list of all the local businesses, do a 5-minute interview with them, or 3-minute interview, get a promotion, get out the door, wash, repeat, do it every single month. But a lot of us just don't ever do it because it's scary, because we don't want to be told no by the local businesses. But a lot of them are not going to turn down any kind of opportunity for free publicity. I mean, that would just be a bad move by somebody. If you're a business owner, even if you're an employee and you tell someone that the owner doesn't want free publicity, you're an idiot, you're fired. But Ramon, with all the leads that you're getting right now, I'm not going to dive deep in your numbers, but let's say you have 10 leads. Out of those 10 leads, obviously it comes down to you being able to convert them. But if you were when you convert them, what kind of percentages are you looking at when it comes to tire kickers? I'm just interested, or we have to execute on a plan immediately because I'm buying or selling because of X, Y, and Z, and my life is changing. What does that look like?
That's a good question. So let me break this down. I'm usually on just specifically short form content. So that's TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram. Facebook, I'm getting 1 to 2 leads a day usually, and that's usually
Awesome.
through a DM or they click directly on one of the links that makes them end up on my KV Core website, and then I've captured their information.
Because you're doing a buyer's guide call to action, right?
Right, right.
Yeah.
So for the buyer's information, I do the buyer's guide. For the seller's day, I do the seller call to action. The people 1 out of 10 that click and end up on my website that I end up having to call, or what I actually do is they already know my face. I just send them a video. I just record myself. By the way, a little nugget there. But um, those are like 1 in 10 will convert. The ones that are reaching out to me directly have a really high turnover rate. Those are more people, because I also tell them you can just call me directly or shoot me a text. And those are people are either DMing me on those different social media websites, or they're texting me or calling me directly. And those are usually, it's hard to track how many of those I get, because sometimes it's hard to track where the phone calls are coming from. But I would say I get at least 5 a week of those as well. And those are usually the ones that are, hey, I need to buy tomorrow. I need to be in Winston-Salem in June, for example. I'm working with one right now that we're trying to find her a new construction to move into, ready by June. So those are a lot more very, very motivated. Their price ranges are usually at or above the average price point. I've had a couple in the higher price ranges, but most of them are, there's not going to be a lot of those, super cheap home lookers in this, because I don't make my stuff more for investors or for
Right.
things of that nature. So yeah, does that answer your question, Greg?
Yeah, it does. And I think a lot of folks, you need to look at it and just kind of say, look, not every single lead is going to turn out into a sale, but it turns into an opportunity to build a relationship.
Yeah.
Because let's say Steve and Stacy are thinking about making a move to North Carolina from California. They start searching, they see you, but then maybe something happens, they have to stay here for another couple of months. But now you're in relationship with them, and you're building the trust and the bond. So you're not losing, you're just delaying. And a lot of folks get frustrated with the delay because I call it the microwave generation, because they went bing, done, here's your hot pocket, aka buyer or seller. It's not how that shit goes. You got to cook a good meal, which takes time.
So yeah, very interesting point. In fact, a lot of people, from early on YouTube had to rent for 6 months to a year, so to get the experience of the city, know where they want to be. So now they're coming back and buying after they've rented for 6 months, for a year. And then, I go back to my roots and follow up with the leads that way every, couple months. I'm touching everybody about once every 2 months as well. So yeah, follow up is still important for those leads that you don't want to fall through the cracks.
Yeah, 100%. Something that I found, a lot of people do buyer seminars. Do you do buyer seminars?
I've thought about it recently. I haven't done one in, man, it's been 5-6 years. I did a few back then. I had a couple that went, 15, 16 people. Then I did one that no one showed up to, and it was really embarrassing. And so I was like, I'll never do this again. I was traumatized.
I've done that. Been there.
Yeah, so I don't really do them. No.
Try this one on for size. So I was talking with, this was about 2 years ago. I was talking with an individual, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous," and they didn't know shit about shit when it comes to selling a home, their own property. And all of a sudden, it dawned on me like an avalanche landing on my head. I'm like, "Holy crap!" The buyers don't know how to buy, but what people don't ever think about, the sellers don't know how to sell for the majority of the time. A lot of them have been on the home for 20, 30, 40 plus years, so they don't know. I mean, back when they bought, it was a 1 to 3 page contract.
Yeah.
We're like a 27 to 47 page contracts these days, with all the addendums and disclosures. And so I threw a seller's seminar. Phenomenal response. People ask great question. I partnered up with a lender, and I had different stats from the city and the county and different towns around, and people loved kind of reading through that data. And you can get it for free everywhere. I mean, I'm going to start. You've encouraged me to actually get out there and do a monthly seller update with all the numbers that I'm using with RedX. I also get email addresses. So I'm going to see if I can send out a monthly update for the Contra Costa County. This is what we've been doing in the last 30 days. Here's where the market has shifted. This has been the last 30, 60, 90, 120 day shifts. Have you guys thought about selling? Come to our seminar. It's digital. You can log in anywhere. Here's the time frame. Then I just record it. Nick and I'll post it up, and we'll be able to blast it out to these folks and build rapport. So
I've heard of people. That sounds like a great idea. I've heard of people recently doing online buyers, so like Zoom buyer
Yep.
Yeah.
seminars and Zoom. So I think I'd be really interested in doing something like that. Maybe advertising it for a couple weeks and then having one big day where I have a lot of people. They can be anonymous or they can put their name in there and just ask all the questions. I think that'd be great. And I think traditionally that was done for buyers mostly because you have the lender there to help offset the costs a lot of times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
But if you're doing sellers, hypothetically speaking, those sellers are probably gonna need somewhere to buy anyway, so it still
Exactly.
benefits the seller. So that makes sense.
Yeah, it's killing two birds with one stone. And if they're going to buy, let's say they're selling in North Carolina and moving down to Nick in Florida, great. Call Nick up. Hey, get our 25% referral fee. And like,
Mhm.
hey, this guy came from my seller seminar and we're off and running. But that's just, a side subject because doing what you're doing, there's a girl named Alyssa Glutz. She goes by Color My Credit. She's a lender out of Arizona.
I've ran into her TikToks.
Yeah, she's a good friend of mine, and she'll probably watch this show, by the way. But she
I'm
does
a
the same
fan.
thing. She crushes it on TikTok, and a lot of people just overlook it. So, what made you really take a hard look at it and say, okay, this is an actual vertical I want to explore on a deeper basis?
So, I saw a lot of people having success, especially some people close to here, like Concord and Charlotte. There were some agents doing really amazing, having good followers and having, they were saying they were having a lot of success with it. And I always let the fear of, it never kind of went away when you first get licensed and you have this idea of what the stereotypical real estate agent looks like. And you don't want to be seen drinking. You don't want to have tattoos. You don't want to, wear a
Well, I'm
t-shirt.
screwed.
Right? And that's why me and you get along so well. That's why I gravitated towards you, Greg. But but yeah, essentially, I was afraid that what other agents in my market would say, and then I realized
Right. Yeah.
I realized that if I jump on this, I'm probably going to be one of the first to do it at least super consistently.
Mhm.
And Nick knows this about me. I like to be the first on the cutting edge of technology. If I think it's going to be worth it, if I think it's going to be doing good, I think I'm going to jump in it. I want to be the first one in my area to do it and kill it, and then everyone's going to be following my train. So right now it's TikTok. In 5 years, it's probably going to be some other app or some other lead generation, the AI stuff that
It
Nick
should.
does.
I was just about to say, bro, you haven't
Yep.
jumped over to AI yet. I'm
Yep.
waiting.
So anyway, I like to be on the cutting edge of technology and things that I think will work. So that's why I finally decided to make a schedule, take time off. I'd already been posting TikToks and decent TikToks, just not consistently. And the more things I learned about it, the more things I read and watched on YouTube and things of that nature, the more I really decided that this was the right way to go. And honestly, I'll tell this to everyone watching. It wasn't overnight, especially with short form. It was probably a month and a half to 2 months of me literally jonesing from not calling leads because I know what pays the bills is calling leads and getting hung up on, getting cussed out, and hoping that you can get an appointment, get someone pre-qualified, get to a showing. But I stopped doing that because, like I said, I was dedicating the 2 to 3 hours a day I was using to call people. Now I'm using that same time to feel silly in front of a camera and keep remaking videos that I keep messing up and editing and posting and
So,
learning about the right hashtags. I'm sorry.
so what software are you using to edit? I know a lot of folks are because there's so many options.
Yeah.
First off, what phone are you shooting with? What kind of computer do you have, and what's the software that you're using?
So, 14 Pro Max, that's
Okay.
one thing about me. Some people make fun of me, but as soon as a new iPhone hits, I'm a big iPhone guy. And Nick is probably rolling his eyes. He's a big Droid guy, right? If I remember correctly. But no matter what's going on, I'm getting the new iPhone. It's the number one tool we use as realtors. You got to have the nice one, the best one. It's got the 1 terabyte. It's a big, big storage iPhone. I have the MacBook Pro, the M1 chip one, for editing the YouTube videos. It's really helpful. And that's about 2-year-old MacBook. And then I use CapCut. So most of the videos I will shoot on my traditional camera app, not the native. I don't shoot inside of TikTok unless it's a trend. The trends I do in TikTok. But essentially, I'll shoot them on my native camera and then throw them in CapCut and edit it. And then there's another app called Captions. The name of the app is literally Captions. And I find, and it is a paid app. I think it's like $5 a month or something like that. But I use it every day, so it's super worth it to me. It makes the captions like bubble up and come up. And there's other softwares that do it for free, but I
Mhm.
just really like the way that this system does it. And it's very accurate. So to me, it's worth the $5 a month that that app cost. And then from there, I posted in TikTok, and then I mean, we can get kind of detailed for briefly, but you also want to have the captions auto generated on TikTok because search for key terms and things of that nature. So you auto generate the captions, but then you make them tiny and then you move them just outside the screen, not delete them, but just outside the screen so that you're still getting credit for the captions, but you have the nice captions from that app. Sorry if I lost you guys, but and
Way
then
back there, back at the last city.
sorry.
Yeah.
But then you post not the TikTok video, but the original video that you edited in CapCut to your Instagram, to your Facebook, to your Snapchat, to your YouTube, to your LinkedIn, to your Twitter, whatever you got.
And then veed.io captions is free. Have you used that one before?
Me personally, I've not. I've not. If it does it as well as captions, then maybe I should cancel my captions subscription and go that way.
Yeah, there's so
Yeah,
much to
don't
unpack
trip over
here.
the $5. You got a good workflow.
Yeah, yeah. I got a good workflow, and it edits it quick. It renders fast. It's. I like it. I like it.
Okay.
But yeah,
For
that's
$5, I
basically
mean, that's not bad.
right. Yeah, I agree. I tried shooting initially on a nicer camera and then editing inside of Final Cut Pro inside my computer and doing the vertical form video on there, and it just takes too much time to upload it. It's so much better, even if you're losing a little bit of quality. Most people can't even tell. Just do it on your phone.
Interesting. Well, I mean, there's so much to unpack here. I mean, if we keep going, I think that we're going to get lost in the weeds. Unfortunately, because I love this stuff, I love to dork out with this and really kind of go deep on it and have some fun. Um, but Ramon, if you could leave us with a couple of tips, give us like maybe 3 to 5 tips that you found to be the most useful. It could be different technology. It could be different, mindset, kind of how you go talk to people to get them on camera. It could be content areas of wealth where you can really get good stuff. You don't have to overthink.
Yeah.
How just for someone to make the first 3 videos in the next 3 to 5 days, how would you coach them?
The first thing is going to be not being worried about what you look like on camera. People are going to see you in real life eventually. I'm fat. I have a scraggly beard, but I'm already married. I'm not looking for another woman out there. So, it's like, why care? Why do I care what I look like? Obviously, if I have dirt on my face, I'm going to wipe it off. But other than that,
I'm surprised you haven't gotten any marriage proposals yet from your video, bro. Come on.
I'm with Nick on this one.
That would be the first thing. Like, listen, it took me a long time to get over the way that I sound and look on camera, and that's every single person you're ever going to meet. Just
Yep.
get over it and do it. That's number one. Number two, I would say start some kind of local centric videos. So, like for me, I said earlier, the one video that if I had to only do one that gets me the most probably exposure is the food videos. So
Yeah.
I call it Winston-Salem Meets Wednesday. I go around to every local restaurant in town. I'm running out of out of restaurants by now. And people love that, and they start following you, and you use the right hashtags, the North Carolina foodie, the Winston-Salem Meets Foods, and people start following you for those reasons. And then you post you sold a house, or you help someone sell a house behind that, and now people know that not only are you a great food review video guy, you also sell houses here locally in their area. So I would say pick one local thing to do and don't miss a week. Don't do it daily. That's too much. Do it weekly, but don't miss it. If you can help it, don't miss it. Whether it's best bars in town, best local parks, activities going on this weekend, whatever it is. Number three, don't worry about the quality as much. I was really hung up on the quality of the video before. I have kind of like the lights that Nick has behind him in this other room here. I can change the colors. I got a light, I got a hair light, I got a light on my face, I got a different color in the background. It just takes so long to set up and break down that it's just not worth it. And unless this is your only thing you do all day, it's probably not going to get the results you want. So just, don't worry about the quality as much as actually putting it out there. Good enough is good enough kind of thing. What else would I say? Yeah, try to start with if when I first really got into it, I was doing one trend and one purposeful video, whether it's a neighborhood tour, whether it's a food video, a buyer information, a seller information, a local highlights, local events coming up this weekend, news, like you said, Greg, or even national news and
Yeah.
how it affects us here locally. But dude, the trends are super easy. Oh, and then sorry, I just remembered earlier. Nick was saying, you know, sometimes you don't feel good or you don't look good or you're sick or whatever, or you're on vacation, for example. While I was on vacation, I was still posting on TikTok almost every day because I have 47 drafts in my TikTok folder just ready to go, just to keep people thinking I'm still in town, you know, just they still go out because I've already shot them.
Well, plus
Awesome.
too, so I'll add on that, and something that you do really well. And it's not something that I can tell you that you can get. It's kind of learned as you keep going, which is don't take yourself too seriously.
Yeah.
Right. And so not everybody's funny, obviously, but like I've seen Ramon do a few videos where it was like, when I said, you know, I made the comment of not feeling like doing video. I've seen a few of his videos where he's like, I'm doing a video today, even though I just lost a deal. Or like there was one where it was like, I saw you do, it was like, when you think you did a video that's going to get really good views and you get 5 people to follow you and you're like all sad, right? Like,
Yeah.
There's something to be said, like the short form video stuff, like video in general helps people get to know who you are. Like that's the point of video. You can have that communication. So when you do meet these leads, they're like, I feel like I've known you forever, right? People that have listened to Real Estate Uncensored forever, like when I get on the phone with them, they're like, Nick, I feel like I know who you are and I've never talked to this person, right? It's like video is powerful in that sense. With short form video, it's even more powerful to be relatable. So the more relatable you can be, the better off you will be. And that goes to like this fancy shit, right? Like Ramon said, it's more relatable for you to be in app on your cell phone without fancy stuff because that's what's normal in the app. And the more that you can morph into what's normal on the app and look like you want to stand out, but you also want to blend in at the same time. And you don't want to be the stuffy realtor making fun of buyers and sellers and day of life. And like, so if that's your content strategy now is to make other realtors laugh, you've already lost, right?
Yeah.
Be relatable, be authentic. Don't take yourself too seriously and just tell people why you love where you live. You became a realtor because you probably really like real estate. You probably really like where you live, right? So just talk about that. That's infectious.
That's a great point. That's a really great point. Oh yeah. Greg, I feel like you're thinking, what's going on behind those eyes?
I'm actually looking at different things to start doing some videos on. So I was taking a look at Groupon. So what I've done is I've gone out to Groupon.com. I'll go to different local businesses that have like a 10%, 20% discount or whatever. You can go, because you may not know this, but Groupon will take up to 50% of the proceeds after the fact. Any deal that comes through their system. So they're making the businesses pay, then they're taking up to 50% of the proceeds. So it's basically the poor business owners. It's just a visibility play, but they don't know any better. They can do it a lot cheaper, but they just don't know. So I contact these businesses and I'll go and I'll say, hey, look, I want to do, if you guys offer me the same discount you're giving to Groupon, I won't take any money of your proceeds, and I just want the same option, and I want to come out and interview you for my channel. 100% of the time they say yes for that opportunity. And then we have a thing here in San Francisco called Fun and Cheap. And so you can go to funandcheap.com and you can see what fun and or cheap events are taking place here in San Francisco or the East Bay, the South Bay, North Bay. And then you can, like what I used to do on Fridays is I would go read through them and be like, I'm not going to the Miss Pretty Pink Kitty event in San Francisco, not doing that. But there's a beer fest. I'll be the first one in line. I'll see you guys there. Do stuff like that. And I stopped doing it because it was working so well. People would actually be waiting for the video to come out to figure out what they're going to do this weekend with their family.
Yeah, you can't do that if you got a stalker.
Yeah, well, I have Nick, so it's close enough. Nick's like, yes,
we got
dumb joke. But Ramon, where can people reach out to you? How do they get in your sphere of influence if they're thinking about EXP and they're anywhere in the U.S. or Canada or God knows, we opened up like Portugal, I think, just opened up over there. How can they reach out if they want to get into your view? Like, how can they be in your sphere?
Like, so you can follow me on TikTok, Ramon _the_realtor. RAMON. Nick, can you put that on the screen somewhere?
Probably.
Do we have the capabilities? Do we have the
Yeah.
technology for
Yeah.
that? You can also, I would say, maybe not. You can text me anytime. Probably don't call me today because I got a bunch of stuff to get done today. But you can text me.
Don't call
anytime.
me today.
Yeah, tomorrow, like just today happens to be a crazy busy day. I gotta get a couple things. I got some fires to put out after we get off the phone, and then I gotta go make some TikToks. A food video I gotta edit and do a voiceover. But yeah, you can text me. Do you have should I say my number or are you gonna put it up
Yeah,
there?
dude. Say your number for all the folks that are listening at home.
Thanks. It's the area code is 336-909-1492.
Say it again for all of us slow dyslexics.
336-909-1492. The year that Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue.
That's I've
I've said that so many times. It hurts every time I say it.
So I'm on Ramon's TikTok right now, and dude, I like what it looks like. I'm looking at some tacos right now, and all of a sudden I'm hungry for tacos.
That's it. How
Yeah,
did Gene
there's
Volpe-
Gene. Thanks, Gene.
Damn, but Evil Bald Ninja does show up.
Whoa.
Inch.
Ears must have been burning.
My God. All right, Nick, how do people get a hold of you?
NickSakis.com has all my links. If you want to learn more about artificial intelligence, join our Facebook group, AI Empowered Agents. We are giving away free 14-day trials to artificial intelligence, which is helping a lot of people right now crush. And Ramon is going to be one of those people. I just have to talk to him more often. Between artificial intelligence and short form video, there's no reason why people can't crush it right now in this market. So yeah, that's basically it. NickSakis.com. All the links are there.
Yeah, that's spelled SAKKIS.
That's it.
Guys, if you guys won't follow me, please follow me anywhere. So Greg McDaniel on Facebook, Greg McDaniel REU on Instagram, in TikTok. I think it's just Greg McDaniel. I don't even know what my TikTok handle is. Let's figure it out. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I post about 100% zero on there at this point.
User 00743.
I'm like, no, I don't think that's me. If you guys want to follow me on TikTok, it's extremely boring at the moment, but come and hang out with me. It's at Real Estate Uncensored. So it's Real Estate Uncensored on TikTok. Go find me there, guys. I can't believe how much I love you guys. It's unbelievable. We cannot do this without you. Ramon, you are an inspiration to everybody who's heard your voice today and seen your beautiful, beautiful face with that just monster beard going on. You stepped out of a wood cabin out there. It's awesome.
That's right.
I'm matching you, by the way, with the hair. Holy crap.
Yeah.
So Nick, you have one job and one job only at this point in life, and that's put a color on the bow for the show. What will that color be? Because Ramon's gonna have a color too.
Man, I think I feel like we got to go with like the TikTok glitch color, pink, purple,
black.
What's the TikTok color? It's like we'll call it the glitch. We'll call it the glitch.
Okay, TikTok glitch. Okay, we'll do that. Don't even know if that's color. Ramon, what's a color you want to put on the bow on the show?
Let's go pink, like the little bag you have for your beauty light.
Nah, nice.
All right, I deserve that. All right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for hanging out with us. This is Real Estate Uncensored. Ramon was talking about kind of going through your database, and Nick was talking about joining the Facebook group for AI. Definitely take a look at the AI system, likely.ai. Upload your database to them. Watch what it'll kick back to you. I make no money on this at all. I've just been using their product for a long period of time, and it will blow your friggin' mind. So we'll take a look at it and then get back to us and let us know your responses. But we love you. We appreciate you. We cannot, and I mean we cannot do this show without you guys hanging out with us. So thank you very much for hanging out with us again. Thanks for watching on the back show. If we can do anything for any of you, reach out to us, and we'll see you guys on the next show. Till then, peace out, ninjas. We gone.